Surrounded at BEVS. Other
Like
words, in paradise. Chris Onorato, Ashley Miller. It's Onorato and Miller live on a Thursday night across News Channel 13 social media. It's Facebook, YouTube, and X, live at BEVS in Malta with a really cool promotion that this beverage center is doing for Belmont Festival and all of Saratoga racing season. So we'll tell you about the track pack. It's just an easy, convenient way to get stocked up for track season here. Aaron Judge stays hot. Mets, who were going to be sellers anyway at the deadline, have been hit by the injuries. Pete Alonso and Edwin Diaz. We've got a big NFL signing, which may start the wheels on some other receivers and maybe even a big-name quarterback in the NFL. Stanley Cup Conference Finals are interesting. Celtics are into the NBA Finals. We got a lot going on the show here. And then Marcella's MVP of the month as well. What's going on, Onorato and Miller?
This is Onorato and Miller, sponsored by Alpin House.
Live from BEVS. They support us each and every single week here on Onorato and Miller. Shout out to all of our local business partners on this podcast. Sam, we're right down the road from you, man. BEVS in Malta.
Yeah, not far.
Good evening to you, buddy. Rockman's all over it early here, too. How about the Celtics? Yeah, Rock, we will break down the Celtics' run to the NBA Finals, and we'll ask that question, that everybody loves to ask. Is the season a failure if the answer is yes? But we'll elaborate on why it's a failure for Ballston if they don't win the NBA championship this year. Greetings, Carol. Carol, by the way, thank you. Sent me a birthday card, which landed on my desk this morning at the station.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so thank you, Carol. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. The track pack is available now at BEVS. We'll show it to you, but it's a cooler. It's an 18-pack of your choice of beer, Bud Light, Miller Lite, Michelob Ultra. You get a bag of Saratoga chips, a bag of ice, and, of course, the always important ping pong balls.
Oh, ping pong balls. We're set up for beer pong in this joint.
Well, whatever you want to do. Maybe even you just like a little table tennis.
Flip cup?
That's okay, too.
Get crazy.
Yeah. They're not quite pickleball size.
No, they are not.
But pickleball is always a huge, huge deal. All right, Ash, let's get into what we're seeing on the baseball diamond here from Aaron Judge. Yankees are in first place in that AL East. Currently on a Thursday, a 1.5 lead again over the Baltimore Orioles. Look at the numbers here from Judge. We did some of this last week. He has not cooled off.
Do you think we'll do this every week? How long?
No,
How long does it go?
I don't, but he's inserting himself into the MVP conversation where Juan Soto looked like the guy for a long time, even just from a team perspective. But Judge has been the hottest bat in that lineup. And
it was after a really
dreadful April.
Really bad start. Like to the point where you're like, what is wrong with Aaron Judge? Is he hurt? Is he going to go through this all season? Yeah. And all of a sudden, those numbers, I mean, we talked about it last week. The fact that you could bring your average up from the basement as quickly as he has, even to just the twos.
He's gotten 70-plus points.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, again, we keep saying it. Still no Garrett Cole. Still no Jason Dominguez. Rizzo hasn't really hit yet. So it's been Soto, Stanton, and Judge. LeMahieu's just now back. Volpe went through a long dip after he started hot.
And they're all kind of protecting one another, which is that was the point of this whole lineup, is to have Judge, Soto, Stanton, to have that kind of murderer's row type of lineup. Yeah. Well, when Aaron Judge isn't hitting, it doesn't work, because even when Juan Soto's hitting, they can kind of avoid Soto. Right now, you can't avoid anybody.
Yeah, sure. This is big stuff here for the Mets. Now, I say in the open they were going to be sellers anyway, and they were. Yeah. This was not working. You heard some of the comments from president of operations, and their owner Steve Cohen has come out already this year too to say, hey, what we've tried isn't working. A $300 million plus payroll. And obviously they still have some of like Scherzer and Verlander on the books, but after the trades last year. But what they have tried is not working. How long does it take to reset? I don't know. I'm not so worried about the time it takes to reset. I'm worried about the resources. And is it necessary to trade Pete Alonso at the trade deadline? He's a free agent this coming winter.
Right.
Do you go all in on Alonso, kind of with the idea that, well, we're not contenders next year.
Right.
Are we really contenders in 26? And then at that point,
and what is he going to require? What are the numbers you're giving a guy like Pete Alonso?
But can you trade the face of the franchise, right? Like even if the Yankees were not playing well and they had struggled for years now, are you trading Aaron Judge, who sells jerseys and tickets, and they never traded David Wright through any of those struggles? So I still find it hard to believe that the Mets would pull the trigger on an Alonso trade unless it really just absolutely reset the farm system and like gave them
blow you away type stuff.
MLB ready guys in their early 20s. It's the only way you could do it. And I still am not sure it's worth it.
Yeah, I say they don't. I mean, I think you have to bank on, but you also have to, there has to be conversations that happen from now until the end of the season. Like, is he really interested? Can we find a number that we think is going to work? If the answer is no, then you trade him now. You trade him now if you're not going to re-sign him, because then he becomes a rental. So like that has to be determined between now and the end of the season. It can't be let's wait and hope he re-signs.
Yeah.
Because you have to get something for him if he's not going to re-sign.
Yeah, and I don't think the team you'd trade him to at the deadline, July 31, is going to be a team that can automatically sign him to he's going to go to free agency. He's going to test those waters. And so to your point, what is your return really for a guy who will largely be a rental? Right. I don't know. Interesting. Anyway, he gets hit on the hand. He's
I forgot.
It kind of seems inconsequential here unless he's going to miss serious time. Right. But he's awaiting test results at this point. Again, live on a Thursday night, awaiting test results. Edwin Diaz is going to the IL. He's got a shoulder issue. So a team that's 9-10 games under 500 here. Memorial Day weekend. I've always said this. Memorial Day weekend. Talked to a buddy at work about this, who's one of our producers. I said, Neil, it's Memorial Day weekend. This is when I first start looking at the standings, right? And I knew the Braves were struggling and far behind the Phillies, but then you look at some of the other teams in the mix here, but it's the Mets record that jumps out at you, and immediately I thought, well, they're done. They're already done. You're 2 months in. They're already done.
I think I said
that.
But
who would disagree with that?
I think I said that after they started like 0-5 or whatever.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, I didn't like the team coming in anyway, but as a fan, right, I'm not a fan of the Mets, but as a fan of any team, knowing you've still got June, July, August, September ahead of you before you can say, hey, at least football season's here now.
A lot of baseball to be played.
And to be done this early.
I know.
Is difficult.
Yeah, and maybe they're not, but you could at least start to play good baseball. I would have told you that there was no way Aaron Judge would have his batting average where it is right now. So, like, things can happen quickly. You win 8 games in a row, and people start thinking differently of you. Speaking
of it being early, here's a way too early MLB award. Matt Quatraro, Bethlehem guy.
I don't know that it's too early.
AL Manager of the Year. But, okay, now this question was posed to me. I'm cheating here. Yes, this question was posed to me in the newsroom. Hey, if the season ended now, who's your American League Manager of the Year? I immediately said Aaron Boone, because I looked at no Garrett Cole, and some of the struggles and a first place Yankees team. But they said, no, it's got to be Matt Quatraro. I said, you're right. It's Quatraro. The Royals, Ash, won 56 games all of last year.
Yep.
They have 35 as of May 30th.
It's pretty amazing. And listen, they have some young, like Bobby Witt Jr. is one of the most talented young stars in the game. But nobody else could figure this out before Quatraro came in. You know, World Series, however many years ago aside, nobody else could figure this team out, managing this team. And Matt Quatraro has been able to do it. Like,
I know. And I was so nervous for him because I thought if they have a bad first 2 months, he's going to be gone.
Yeah.
But forget bad first 2 months. They are special. John, we are in Malta. We are at the BEVS in Malta, 4 locations, as we mentioned at the top of the show here, where you can get that track pack, Malta, Saratoga, Wilton, and Queensbury. We'll show you the track pack, get you ready for the Belmont Racing Festival, and then those 40 days of racing at Saratoga Racecourse coming up here on Onorato and Miller. The Celtics have cruised into the NBA Finals. If they don't win it all this year, is it a failed season? The answer is yes, but we'll tell you why next.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
Using the highest quality materials, artisanal craftsmanship, and creative design, we're ready to help bring the vacation experience to your own home. With custom-designed Legacy Edition pools, we're confident we can turn your backyard into your own personal oasis. And we'll be by your side through the whole process. Get outside this summer with Alpenhaus. Be sure to visit our brand new 16,000 square foot showroom expansion on Route 30 in Amsterdam. Alpenhaus Pools and Hot Tubs, Amsterdam and Clifton Park.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
Back live at BEVS now in Malta, where the track pack, there it is over my right shoulder. I'm getting a little bit better about this mirror effect.
I'm still not very good at it.
You get a cooler, bag of ice,
Move your head a little.
18-pack of beer, bag of Saratoga chips, and ping pong balls. $40. Can't beat it. $39.99 actually. Okay. Saving you money here at BEVS. So if you are coming to town, you're tailgating, but do you pregame, tailgate before the race course, either or? Which of the two?
All
I don't know what you'd say. Yeah. Tailgate, pregame at one of your rentals, maybe at your own house. And then you're going to go over to the track because you can't bring in your own alcohol for the Belmont Racing Festival, but you can for the 40 days. So this is your
40-day.
This is your way to do it.
Go-to.
Yeah. $40 for 40 days. Can't beat it. We are in Malta, but 4 locations: Wilton, Saratoga, and Queensbury.
Than $40, like $40 a weekend.
I'm going to lose a lot more than 40 bucks
so
too. Yeah.
Come back here 8 times and get you 8 track packs.
Yeah. There you go. That's the deal, though, going this summer here for the Saratoga racing season. It includes, of course, the Belmont Festival. Are you fired up for Belmont here? I was talking to someone at work, and he said, "Are you going to go?" And I said,
"You're going to be there just for work."
I'm there for work Thursday and Friday. Do I dare go Saturday?
I'll drop you off. I can't get in the building. I'm no longer media credentialed. I'm not. There are no tickets to be had.
Well,
I can't
I'm on third party. Yeah.
Just weasel my way in. Nor do I want to spend a lot of money to go.
Okay.
So I think the answer is no for me. Not that I don't want to be there, but that I can't physically be actually on the premises.
I know.
For the first time, left out.
Blues Travelers playing
interested.
on Broadway Wednesday night. The night, but go ahead.
I love some Blues Traveler.
Oh, are you going to go to the concert?
Maybe. I won't. Well, you won't go because it's too late.
I could go.
All right.
I mean, they're going to close Broadway. They're going to pack Broadway in downtown.
I'm interested.
It's going to be a scene.
I'm interested,
as they say.
Yeah, and I'm also interested in the Belmont. I think it's never happened before. After Belmont is done, it will probably never happen again. Never say never, but we have racing in June. Yeah. Get excited, people.
You don't have to go to Long Island. We have NBA basketball in June. We always do, although it's still May 30th as we do this show. But the Celtics are into the NBA Finals, so they win it. They win the Eastern Conference Final on a Tuesday night, I believe that's right, or a Wednesday. It doesn't matter. And they're not going to play now until June 6th.
It's crazy.
They get basically a week and a half off before game one. And I understand you have to set the schedule. There are hotels. There are things that I get it, right? You have to make sure arenas are clear. I understand. But a week and a half. Yeah. And if the Mavericks get the deal done tonight Thursday night again, you got a full week.
Yeah.
I'm hoping Dallas gets it done because I'd like for kind of that rest and wait period to be equal for both sides, and then let's see what we get.
Versus
7-game
days.
series, and now you've got to
It's a quick turnaround. Yeah, I agree.
I would prefer a Dallas Celtics finals to a Tim. I know everybody's excited about Anthony Edwards.
Me
fine.
too.
Give me Kyrie and Doncic
Yeah, it's
against Tatum and Brown. Let's
and
go.
his former team. Like it's the most compelling storyline. There's no doubt. And Kyrie's had this resurgence. He all of a sudden hasn't been the bad Kyrie that has been everywhere else. He's not drawing bad attention to his team. So I think it's obviously the most compelling is Kyrie. I mean, can you imagine him going back to Boston? He's going to get booed to high heaven. It's going to be great. And I think that's what I'm with you. I want Dallas, Boston. I think it's the most interesting.
Sam says Boston should win easily. Hopes it's just competitive. But here's the question. Would you consider the season a failure if Boston doesn't win at all? This is their second trip to the finals in 3 years. They've coasted through the Eastern Conference playoffs, right? And they benefited from some injuries along the way on the other side of things, but they've also had to play without Porzingis. So is this a failed season if the Celtics don't get it done now?
Yes, because I don't think so. Like, if it was the Nuggets on the other side, I think you start to say like, well, the Nuggets are good enough to win it all. And not that Dallas isn't, but you've got two teams who I don't know many people thought would be there on the other side. The Celtics were, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the preseason favorite to win it all. So
maybe
for me,
Denver is a repeat, but it was close. Yeah.
For me, it's a failed season, especially because of how things have played out. Things have really started to play out in their favor. They've got a lot of rest, whether that's good or bad, I don't know. But you're not facing the Nuggets. I think things have the way that they've gone. And I think the expectations are finally like, you know what, this has to be the year for them with Porzingis, right, with Drew Holiday, who's been, I think, underrated. This is a chance. Yeah, this is a chance for them to finally do it. I say finally do it like the Celtics have never won or something. But this iteration of the Celtics have not won with their two stars.
Yeah, I mean, it's been more than a decade, right, since that big three of Garnett, Allen, and Pierce. Yes, the answer is yes here, 100%. Because,
I agree.
As I said to our buddy Brendan Glasheen a few weeks ago, like this has to be the year now, right? Like it was just all opening up for Boston, and again, at some point you've got to break through. Yeah. This has got to be the year for them. I don't know. And Sam says, yeah.
Sam's MVP.
It's a failure.
Sam's on site.
Sam is here at BEVS.
Sam's on site buying some Coors Light.
John asked, which BEVS are you at? We told Sam, hey, we're not far from your house. Come get that right behind me, a track pack. He's here. And even though I said
commenting.
His Mets season is over, he's still supporting the show, which we appreciate.
Yeah, we love Sam.
Let's stay on the playoff beat here. We're about 5 minutes away from our guest segment this week. The stars of Back to the Future, the musical. It's coming to Proctor's. And I just was so intrigued to speak to the actors, performers who have to play Marty McFly and Doc Brown. I did let out your secret that you have not seen the movie. They both were like,
not
what?
From start to finish.
What?
I've seen a few.
And then it turned on me. I'm the bad guy that I haven't
see?
made you watch it. So
to be fair, you should have told them. We have a list. It lives in my phone of movies that I have seen that you haven't, that I think you should, and vice versa. Yeah. We haven't quickly ticked them off the list.
No, not doing a great job there. No. This is fun. Okay, even though the NBA conference finals have been a little bit of a rollover to this point, we've got the Rangers and the Panthers tied at 2. Game 5 is Thursday night as we do this show. We've got the Stars and the Oilers tied at 2. Which team has the edge in each of those series for you?
I'm gonna say Rangers. I just like how they're playing right now, but all that series has been incredible. Absolutely
unreal.
Incredible. And I don't know that
4 straight overtime games for New York?
3,
okay.
I think.
Yeah, okay.
I think the first one was a regulation game. I think the last 3 have gone to OT. Yeah. Incredible hockey, and it's been fun. It's been super competitive, but it's been angry. Like the Trouba elbow ignited everything that you want in playoff hockey. Yeah. But the Rangers are one of those teams. They're hot at the right time. They're playing like a team that has a little something extra. So I'm going to give the edge to the Rangers. but obviously wouldn't be surprised if Florida wins.
Yeah. I'm on the Rangers too
okay.
in that series, and I'll take Dallas on the other side.
Okay, I like Dallas too, but I don't really have a real reason. Listen, the Oilers have one of the biggest stars on the planet, but I would lean Dallas as well.
Yeah, I mean, incredible road team Dallas is. They split in Edmonton.
They play better on the road.
I know.
They play better on the road than they do at home.
Now they've got to go home to win a Game 5,
Yep.
so we'll see. But that at least those two series have been fun.
Awesome.
When Sam's taking the Panthers, okay.
Listen, it's not a stretch.
Going into the conference finals, Florida was the odds-on favorite in Vegas to win the Cup.
Makes
so
sense.
there's that.
Okay.
This is a viewer question. Our buddy Joel, who's in Brooklyn, sent me an email as he regularly does. Joel's a great guy. I think he catches us on YouTube. He said his office is not far from where the Canyon of Heroes would pass by, and so he wondered who will he see celebrating down that roadway first, the Yankees or the Rangers?
This is going to be a cheap answer, but the Rangers are 6 wins away. Like you have to say the Rangers right now.
Okay.
Right? I mean, it would seem ridiculous to say the Yankees when the Rangers are 6 wins away from a Stanley Cup.
Well, but this is kind of us asking, do you think the Rangers are going to win the Cup this year or just before the Yankees win another World Series? I mean, look, it's been since 94 for the Rangers and since 09 for the Yankees.
It's been a very long time
Hard
for
to believe.
both.
Since the early 70s for the Knicks, since 86 for the Mets.
I mean, the Giants look like the most,
Since 69 for the Jets.
New York, not so good.
It's crazy.
New York, not so good. Yeah, the Giants make it all look like the Giants fans. Next time they complain, I'm going to say, listen, you've won more recently than almost any other New York team, so be quiet.
I'm going to take the Yankees here. Sam says he's not taking either one of them. I'm going to take the Yankees here, that they will win a title first among these two teams.
Okay.
I know.
I mean, the odds are in my favor.
Says, of course.
The odds are in my favor.
No doubt. The logic says Rangers. HBO has announced what team it will be following in training camp. Remember, we told you they're going to do like the off season with the Jets. So we'll get a little taste of that. And that's coming soon. I agree. I think it's very cool. I'm interested in the lead up to the draft, the negotiating with free agents, scheming your kind of depth chart and roster and that type of stuff. But HBO has announced what team it will follow through training camp. We'll do that coming up here on the show. It's an interesting squad. There's a new professional women's basketball league coming in 2025, spearheaded by 2 WNBA stars, and the financial backing of absolute celebrities. So the salaries they're not great,
but they'll be good.
But they're good. We'll talk about that on Onorato and Miller coming up. But first, our guest segment of the week. 2 stars from the musical Back to the Future coming to Proctor's. Back right after this in a minute on Onorato and Miller.
Life is about making memories. It's about sharing special moments with those we love and cherishing those moments forever. And what better way to create those memories than by spending time together in the great outdoors? In a space that is as beautiful and as special as the memories we create. Visit Alpenhaus on Route 30 in Amsterdam and Clifton Park Center, and let us handle the heavy lifting. Take advantage of free local delivery and we'll haul away your old grill or patio furniture.
It's always a good time there.
Play to win a 2024 Chevy Camaro convertible through June 29th. Celebrate 20 years of good times at Saratoga Casino Hotel. Learn more at SaratogaCasino.com.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alpenhaus.
Back on Onorato and Miller, it's Chris Onorato. The guy in the middle is Caden Broush, and the man on the end is Don Stevenson. They are playing Marty McFly and Doc Brown in Back to the Future, the musical, which is on the main stage at Proctor's before it goes on a 25-plus city tour nationally, which is really, really cool, guys. Thanks for doing the show. How are you?
Great. Very excited.
Hi, Caden. Long time no see.
Yeah, good to see you, Don.
Currently teching in Schenectady, and then we say previews, but I'm going to say launching the tour at Proctor's Theater. Caden, let me start with you, man. This is your first national tour. Congratulations on the gig.
Thank you so much.
You weren't alive when Back to the Future came out. What is it that drew you to Marty McFly?
Oh my gosh. Well, I wasn't alive when it came out, but don't worry, my parents did a good job. I can't even remember the first time I saw it. That's how like baked in it is with me growing up and everything. Yeah, he's like the coolest guy ever, and to get a chance to do that across America is like the coolest thing ever. So I'm so excited.
Don, look, I don't know if we love Back to the Future because it has some cheesy 80s themes to it, or if it's the music or what, but Doc Brown is one reason we love that movie. You get an opportunity to play this iconic character. Tell me how exciting that is for you.
It's been great fun for me. I mean, I think the thing about Doc is that he has a childlike innocence about everything, and he has no guile. He has wonder still about everything he does and everything that he sees. And I think the thing that is wonderful about the show is that, I mean, you can argue that Back to the Future is the greatest time travel story ever devised. And the wonderful thing about seeing it live in front of you is that you see it new, fresh for the first time. No matter how many times you've seen the movie, when you're sitting in a seat at Proctor's Theater, it's going to be like you've seen it for the first time. And if you've seen the movie, you're going to be very happy with what you see. And if you've never seen the movie, you're going to be amazed at what you see and want to go see the movie the minute you get home. So what you have to do is you have to turn off Netflix, and you don't want to watch the news anymore because it's all bad. But come down to Proctor's and be amazed at the spectacular thing you're going to see in front of you. You will not believe your eyes.
So, Caden,
I'm talking about Caden. That's just Caden. That's just him. When you see everything else, it's even more amazing.
Caden, you gave your parents props for educating you on Back to the Future. My wife still has not seen it. That's bad on me.
Oh, no.
But we will remedy that.
Good.
I was on stage previewing The Lion King when it came to town, however long ago that was. And I was amazed at how they got the Pride Rock on stage. But getting the DeLorean in there, this is for each of you guys. What does that do for the energy of a show when you've got this iconic vehicle on stage with you?
Yeah, I mean, when that car slides on for the first time, it's really it's electric, and the entire team, us on stage, and everyone right now in tech working in the house and backstage and everything, all putting that together. It really ramps up the show to another level. And it really, it's electrifying, when that thing comes on.
I mean, it's really one of our co-stars. I mean, I think the DeLorean is another one of our co-stars. My understanding is that I will get a DeLorean at the end of the tour. Keep. And there's only so many left. And so my understanding is that they will hand me the keys. In fact, I did a test drive earlier this morning. It's parked out here in the parking lot at the Hampton Inn, where Caden and I were going to drive it over. It's only like 3 or 4 feet, but we're going to drive over soon.
Well, Don, that's so cool that you get it. I have to drive it from city to city, so it's tiresome. But
really, I'm flying. I don't know what kind of deal you got, but I'm flying.
Yeah, if it's intact at the end of the tour, I guess you get it. But
I was going to say, Don, your agent drew up a pretty good contract.
Excellent. I mean, it may be a Honda with just sort of like DeLorean written in Sharpie. I mean, I don't know how specific they were, but it's going to say DeLorean somewhere on it.
Yeah.
And Hondas run forever. So
they start cold weather, warm weather, reliable.
Yeah. Who wouldn't love a musical that's got Huey Lewis, Eric Clapton,
Chuck Berry, like the music is great, right? I mean, Caden, how much does that help carry the show? Because we think of it just as a movie with a good soundtrack, but when you transition it into being a musical, how does that carry the show?
Yeah, I mean, we have those iconic songs in there, which are, really fun, and what an honor to sing. And then this amazing original score as well that really elevates it and navigates from the 80s to the 50s and back again. And it's really it's such a fun time to sing every night. It's really great.
All right, here are the details. We might as well get to that. It's at Proctor's, June 6th through the 8th at proctors.org. Easiest way to get tickets. Don, you have a long list of TV and Broadway credits. When this opportunity arose, was there ever any doubt that it could be a North American success?
No, I think the country is in for a treat, and everywhere we go, starting here at Proctor's, the audiences are going to be absolutely amazed at what they see, and it's going to be thrilling. You're going to get to see and hear all of the great things that you love about the movie, and you can bring any age. If you want to bring a kid, the kid's going to love it as long as they're okay with the movie, and if you're older and you're a kid at heart, you're still going to love it. So I think it has something for everybody. So get out of the house, turn this off, and go to the car, drive to Proctor's, and stand in front until they let you in, because you're in for a treat. Back to the Future, the musical.
Well, this is on live on Thursday night before you guys even hit the stage, so don't turn it off.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right. Well, you can leave it on.
Keep
All right,
this running.
leave it on, but you should leave now. I think you should leave now, because it's going to be a stampede.
Start lining up.
Crawling to get into the theater.
Okay, this is a serious question, even though it might sound like it isn't. Okay. And Kaden, I'll start with you.
Yeah.
From Michael J. Fox, okay, and Christopher Lloyd, how do you watch those performances and not judge what you're doing based on what they did, or not take too much of what they did to put into you? How do you make it your own? There's a simpler way to ask it, Chris. Yeah.
I mean, like some of the most iconic performances you can think of. It's a great, watching it is a great place to start. And then through the rehearsal process, we've really had a great time building our relationship together and working with John Rando, our director, and just the whole creative team to really kind of relax into it and make it our own, which they've been so encouraging of, which is really nice. And especially, this has already been over in London on Broadway now, and now we get to do it. And they were so supportive and encouraging of, like, let those productions be their own and make this one your own, which has been really wonderful, and just a lot of fun to kind of build this new version, taking elements of the things we love and also peppering in, our own personalities into it.
All I have to do is put the wig on. That's all you really need. Once you put that on, I mean, you're set.
I know. I don't have a wig, so I really got to work a lot harder.
Is that
the
like...
wig you're wearing now is excellent, though. Look at that wig. That's his interview wig. See that?
So, Don, is that like the Jim Carrey mask? When he puts that on, it just transforms you?
It does a lot to do it, but it is interesting. It's an interesting needle to thread, isn't it? Because we have these iconic performances that are very well known, but you don't want to get up on the stage and do an impersonation. The show has to live and breathe through an actor, and an actor has to make it their own so they can be thinking and experiencing it for themselves. And so in that way, you want to do just a little bit to pay homage to those performances that are so known, but at the same time, do your own thing. And one of the things we should say is that we've had Bob Gale in the rehearsal room with us every day, the creator, the inventor of Back to the Future. And he has thrown new lines at us and said, well, what do you think about this? And so he's really, in a lot of ways, tailored it for the two of us and for everybody in the show to make it their own and to see it fresh.
Well, as I'm listening to the two of you and as you're interacting and Caden is laughing at some things you say, Don, it hits me that maybe more so in a situation like this, a national tour, the on-stage chemistry would just kind of be greater. You're traveling together, you're spending more time together than maybe showing up at the theater and going home at night. Is that right?
If I see him at the hotel, he knows not to talk to me.
Yeah, I don't make eye contact.
Right, but
You have a contract right in?
once we're on stage, I've told him it's fine, but nowhere else. But in the car, we are holding hands. I didn't want to reveal that, but I guess I will. No one's listening to this, are they? No one will hear this.
No.
Okay, good. Because yes, I mean it's lonely in the car, and we have to,
we support each other.
That's right.
But only on stage.
Only on stage.
All right, it's June 6th through the 8th at Proctor's, at proctors.org. Easiest way to get tickets. Guys, this is a lot of fun. I can't wait to see it. I'm a fan of the movie. As I said, it's my responsibility to not only get Ashley to watch the movie, but now to the theater as well to see this. Don, can you give me a little doc here without giving too much away? Can you give me the classic line, where we're going?
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Except we kind of do for this one. We
need a little bit. Well, at least we need like a dirt road, or we need a path, pathway, like a little, something to stay on.
At Marcella's Appliance Center, our commitment is to you, providing essential appliances that families depend on for cooking, refrigeration, cleaning, and sanitation, plus appliance repair. You can have peace of mind that Marcella's is here for you today and every day, like we have been since 1957, helping you make the right choice with trusted brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and many more. Shop Marcella's Appliance Center in-store, online, or by phone. We're here for you.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alphen House.
All right, back on Onorato and Miller. That was cool. A couple of stars from Back to the Future, the musical. And Ash was wondering aloud. Go ahead. No?
I wish we took a screenshot, first of all.
Who has better hair?
Who has the best hair?
Who's the best hair?
I mean, that was...
Vote online.
A whole lot of hair. All three of those frames, whole lot of fun hair.
So as Doc Brown, you have to go hair.
Yeah, big.
Right.
Go big.
So Don had that going on. It looks great. Caden's got the youth
tight curls
on his side.
You've got both.
Good hair.
You've got some of the youth, some of the big tight curls. You were the perfect mix of the two of them.
Yeah, I don't know about the youth anymore. Well, I know about the youth anymore. It's a no.
You all have great hair. That was great.
Anna Gold's-Young, and she's a star for Duke. It's the first time the Blue Devils have reached the Women's College World Series, correct?
It is.
Okay. So they were upset with the 10 seed to start because they knew we're going to have to go play at wherever, and it ended up being Missouri.
Yep.
And you're right, for Super Regionals.
Higher seeds host, so they had to go to Missouri for 3.
And now that they make their first trip to the Women's College World Series, they get 3-time defending champion Oklahoma. I flipped the game on Thursday afternoon because I saw on the bottom line Duke was up 1-0. I'm like, well, now I'm interested.
Yeah.
Oklahoma to me is boring. Good for them. Dynasties are generally good for sports.
Yeah.
But this is boring. UConn, while they were romping, boring. If you're a fan of those teams, it's not. Maybe it is boring though, right? Like,
it's
make it
not.
interesting. No, you just enjoy win. Okay,
yeah,
fine.
I think you just like winning.
This is boring. But Duke lost on Thursday, game 1 to Oklahoma.
It was close when you turned it on, and then you brought the bad juju.
Oh, my fault. I think it was the pitching change that did it.
Tipped the scales.
Are you bored by Oklahoma's dominance?
I'm not bored by it because good softball is fun to watch.
Is this good softball though?
On their end, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, listen, to be able to dominate, like Duke is one of, I'm going to say the best team in the ACC. They might not be. That might have been Florida State, but they were the team to make it to the Women's College World Series. They're one of the best teams in the country. I think they had like top 5 in RPI or like hardest schedule of this year. For Oklahoma to be able to dominate another top 10 team in the country the way that they do, there is so much skill involved. It's not even funny. They are so good at what they do that it is UConn. It's hard to believe that you can be that much better than someone else who's supposed to be just as good as you.
But in those days, we were crying for competitive balance. So if that's what we're seeing now with Oklahoma, like, isn't that inherently just not entertaining? Maybe not boring. Maybe it's kinder cousin, not so entertaining.
This year's been much different for Oklahoma. They haven't mercied
every
game that they've played. Things are starting.
They weren't even the number one team in the country.
Yeah, things are starting to come back down to earth a little bit for them. And they also.
So you're saying deeper, not to keep cutting you off, but you're saying maybe deeper into the College World Series, I will find more entertainment, because Duke at 10 is not Texas at 1.
And even Texas at 1 isn't going to be what they're cracked up to be.
So,
but this season has been much different for Oklahoma. But when you're talking about a basketball team, you're talking about your starting 5. And I understand you just need the 5 best players in the country to make it really all kinds of lopsided. And for the most part, UConn was getting the 5 best players in the country every year in and year out. So it didn't matter who was on their bench, because the 5 best players in the country, they're playing against other people who are not the 5 best players. When you have a lineup, you're going 1 through 9, and they're not getting the 9 best players in the country necessarily. They're getting probably the best pitcher in the country, maybe the best hitter in the country, and the best third baseman in the country. But they're not getting the 9 best players in the country by position. So it's a lot harder to carry that through than it was for what you did with, because the numbers, you need more numbers. You need the best player at every position to do what UConn did.
Is there a reason you picked third base?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was just a random selection.
Okay.
But yeah, you have 9 players, and so you're not going to get the 9 best players in the country at each position either. So I think it's just harder to do. It's not going to last as long.
Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier have announced a 3-on-3 women's professional basketball league coming in January of 2025. Now,
this is off season of
correct,
so
and
that's
this
the best
is
part.
a way to provide WNBA players a domestic opportunity, right, to continue playing and making money. And the big thing here, right, I don't want to go to Russia. No. The big thing here is Stewie on Good Morning America, different network, said that the backing is going to allow this league, which is called Unrivaled, to pay its players an average salary in the 6 figures. Wow. Which the WNBA does not do. Now, the WNBA has more players. This is a 3-on-3 league, and you're only going to have about like 30 players that will be part of this.
10-ish,
not even, yeah. So it's not, but it's a starting point.
Yep.
Right,
No.
maybe it is something that continues to grow here, but there's big time celebrity backing with this league, which makes it interesting too. In fact, one of Stewie's former coach, Gino Auriemma, is one of the investors in this league. So, kind of cool.
This is what it takes.
Kind of cool. 3-on-3 is becoming a thing. It's in the Olympics, and now it's coming to pro hoops. And that's the thing.
It takes names. It takes money. It takes people who have money really wanting to spend it. And for a long time, that wasn't the case in the WNBA. Now it's becoming the case. And I think when you have 3x3 in the Olympics, is it going to be called 3x3 or 3-on-3?
No, 3-on-3.
Oh,
well, it's not FIBA rules. It's not. Well, it's not FIBA calls it 3x3. We here in the States like 3-on-3.
I know, but whatever the Olympics calls it should kind of be what we call it, right? I mean, it's going to be 3-on-3 and then 3x3 in the Olympics. It feels like a little strange. No, I'm into it. I think it's cool. If you have the backing of those people and that kind of money, you're probably going to do all right.
All right, we're back in a minute here on Onorato and Miller. The Marcella's MVP of the month still to come. The Dirty Difficult Done Performance Industrial still to come as well. And HBO's Hard Knocks has selected its team. What do we think about the Chicago Bears? Back in a minute.
I'm Jeff Ukelek. I'm owner of BEVS, and we're a beverage center in upstate New York. You're just going to have that wow component when you come in, like, wow, look at this place. It's bright. It's clean. It has everything that I need. consumer is king. Be able to provide them a friendly environment and a place to shop, no matter where they are, whether they're down here in Saratoga or whether they're up in Queensbury. You're always going to get the same experience when you shop at BEVS. At the end of the day, if you walk in your stores, you're going to see a lot of people that have a lot of pride.
It's always a good time there. Doesn't matter where. It's always a good time there. Doesn't matter.
Play to win a 2024 Chevy Camaro convertible through June 29th. Celebrate 20 years of good times at Saratoga Casino Hotel.
Wow, it's always a good time. Wow.
Learn more at SaratogaCasino.com.
Have to try, it's always a good time.
And now, back to Onorato and Miller. Sponsored by Alphen House.
Look at this. Welcome back to Onorato and Miller. This is the track pack cooler. And Chris didn't really describe this all that well. Not only are there beer pong balls, but the cups come with it. So it's a whole kit. Your choice of beverage, ice, and chips. What's better about that? And Saratoga chips, of course. What's better about that than...
And the cooler.
It screams summer.
This is a better co-host than me.
No, I don't know about that. But yes, you can't get a better deal here at BEVS. $40, $39.99, as Chris clarified. It's actually, you said real heavy. Oh, Vanna White, here we go. Here we go, Vanna. Chris needs a raise. Oh yeah, the touch screen.
Yeah, so that's the track pack here. We are live at BEVS in Malta, and that is for the Belmont Racing Festival and the, of course, 40-day meet at Saratoga. Now, you can also come in here to any BEVS, and you can enter, simple entry form, fill it out, enter for a chance to go to Belmont here at Saratoga, and a trip to the 2025 Kentucky Derby.
So this is actually where I should be what I should be doing after the show is signing up here to see if I can maybe get a trip to the Belmont.
Right, exactly.
All right.
Yeah. You know, we love Susan Smith.
I probably look a little more like Vanna than he does, but
that is true. I would kill to look like Vanna White.
As would I. At her age? Is that what you're getting
at? At any age, I think.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. She
Come
looks
on.
Great.
She does. Thanks, Susan. I'll take that. That's a compliment. Pay me like Vanna White, and I'm a happy person.
There you go. Sponsor your own show.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, HBO. You know, it's funny when the announcement came that the Jets were going to be part of this different Hard Knocks thing, just the off-season process. I thought, we're not going to get training camp Hard Knocks. I have not watched an in-season Hard Knocks. I've got real football on during the season.
Better things to
I'm
do.
good.
Yeah.
And it's Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and if you love college, it's Saturday. I don't need in-season Hard Knocks, but this scratches the off-season itch. So when I heard the Jets were going to be part of just the winter kind of, if you will, Hard Knocks, I thought, we're not getting training camp Hard Knocks? That's when you really get the good stuff.
Yeah.
We are. And we're getting the Chicago Bears with the top pick, Caleb Williams. This is going to be fun.
I'm interested.
Keenan Allen added to the wide receiving core. They drafted Rome Odunze, however you like to say it. So this is interesting. A lot of lofty I mean, I don't look. Maybe the Bears end up being something this year. I'm not buying it. People who are picking the Bears to make the playoffs, I think, are out of their minds. But I'm interested in.
I'm interested in this too. Number one, because of how they drafted. I think Caleb Williams. He's got Aaron Rodgers written all over him, not from a player perspective, from a diva perspective. He has personality diva written all over him. So I feel like it'll have a little bit of that drama. And you'll get just I think he's going to be hateable, if that makes sense. He feels like a hateable guy. He's going to be a good villain. So this will be fun. This will be fun for me. I will actually enjoy it.
Got to have villains in sports. Gotta have.
He's already a villain.
He
so
is.
this feels like
How many times will his dad make it on the show? That I'm curious
Yeah.
to see. He's like the NFL's LeVar Ball. What happened to LeVar Ball, by the way? His sons couldn't stay healthy and nobody cared anymore.
Yep.
Dolphins gave Jalen Waddle a big old contract, and it looked like they might have to trade this guy or let him go because it wasn't going to work. So now you have to wonder what happens with a Tua contract.
Mhm.
And my guess is Tua doesn't get a contract from the Dolphins. That's very possible here. Look, Dak could walk after this year.
Okay.
Tua maybe walks after this year too. We will see. Anyway, 3 years, $84.75 million. It's like 76 guaranteed or 72 guaranteed, something like that. So it's a big number. Who's next? Is it the quarterback Tua, or is it a guy like T. Higgins, Jamar Chase? Maybe rework his deal. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb needs a contract in Dallas. Who's the next big name or big contract anyway to get done in the NFL?
I mean, if you're the Bengals, it's Jamar Chase. But that would be the smart way to do it. He's a franchise receiver. He's a game changer. He probably deserves every single dollar he's going to get. You have to give him what he wants. It's the only way you succeed. There have been enough guys that have walked or asked to be traded from Cincinnati that if you want the Joe Burrow experiment to work, you have to give him a guy like Jamar Chase.
I'm going to go off the board and cheat here a little bit with the who's next. A guy's name who I didn't mention. I think it's Jordan Love. I think Love gets the next big contract.
It's not going to be that big.
Oh, it's going to be big.
Well, that would be a mistake.
He's going to get. I think the deal gets done. I think it gets done before the season, but it at least gets done before November.
What are you talking big?
I'm talking Daniel Jones money and more, maybe.
Well, that's the problem. Daniel Jones has set the bar
but
ridiculously
but 40
high.
million's big, right? He's going to get that.
I mean, the Giants already made the mistake. So by me saying it would be a mistake, that's not really saying all that much. I think it would be a mistake.
Sam likes Trevor Lawrence here. I like that too.
50 a year.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't like the idea of paying anybody $50 million a year in a salary cap league. Baseball, pay them as much as you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Lawrence is the guy. I don't know, but now
that's a good suggestion.
Now we're kind of keeping tabs on who gets what deal. Now I don't think Dak gets a deal done, but I think he goes to free agency, and I think it gets interesting. Well, I'm not saying he's done necessarily in Dallas, but I think
field some offers.
Yeah,
why not?
I'm with you. Let's do it. Let's get wild.
For the most part, I think that benefits a lot of guys.
End of the month.
Seeing what you get.
You know what that means.
It's time for the MVP of the month, sponsored by Marcella's Appliance Center.
Johnny, Marcella, Nick, Matalone, the great people at Marcella's Appliance Center, the 2 locations, the flagship in Schenectady, beautiful new renovated space in Clifton Park, and an expanded space in Clifton Park. Go check them out. All of our appliances are from Marcella's. The MVP in the month of May, Ash, we kind of hemmed and hawed over this one a little bit.
A little.
But we went with Luka. Has the Mavericks 1 game away from the NBA Finals and basically averaging a triple-double.
We hemmed and hawed only a little bit. There was one other potential candidate.
But it could have been Judge.
Outside of Judge.
You know?
I know. And it probably almost should have, because his April was not great. It's really been the entire month of May that he's been on fire. But we talk about him enough. So we are going to give some love to the NBA and a guy that I think people were kind of poo-pooing. The start the start that he had to the postseason, and I get it. But again, we're a little bit prisoner of the moment. And look, now you're back, and he's averaging nearly a triple-double for the entirety of the playoffs. Not so bad.
Saw this on social media, so it's not my original research.
Mm-hmm.
No one in NBA playoff history averages more points per game after a loss. Luka's at 30.
Motivated.
Luka's at 34 and change. Jordan is at 33 and change. So, and Jordan didn't lose much in the playoffs, but when he lost, he was ticked.
He got mad.
And he beat you the next time.
Yeah.
That was the beauty of Jordan.
And we've seen a little bit of that edge from Luka, you know, the memes where he's like taunting people a little bit. Like, he's got some of that competitive fire, dirty kind of competitive guy. Like, I like it because I think it's good for the sport. But
Sam wants to know why we didn't pick one of the guys from the Rangers. Why didn't we pick one of the guys from the Rangers? He was on our radar. Who were we talking about?
He was, but not the bread man. We
Uh-huh.
were not talking about Artemi Panarin. Instead, we were talking about Vincent Trocheck because he's been ridiculous this playoff stretch. The guy's got, what did I say, 18 games?
19 points in 16 games?
In
19 and 14,
I have it
19 and
written
13. Yeah, I know. Pretty
The
good.
next closest guy is 14 points, and that is Panarin. I wrote it down. Trocheck, 14 games, 19 points.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
yeah. Pretty good.
Unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, listen, you could argue that Igor Shesterkin has been their
That was
best
on
player.
Sam's list, too.
They're not there without him, obviously, but I don't think you expect to get the production you get from Trocheck that they have.
And now, Dirty, Difficult, and Done. Sponsored by Performance Industrial.
Karen and Bill Miller, Performance Industrial. Sean Wilcoxon, part of that squad as well, where there's never a job that's too dirty or too difficult for them to get it done. We're talking about industrial kitchens and those types of things, industrial cleaning, whatever you need done, they will do it for you.
Tinny's Tavern.
Tinny's Tavern, where we were live last week. Ash, you're up first.
All right, my dirty, difficult, done. How could you go an entire podcast show without mentioning Angel Hernandez?
Yeah.
And the fact that he is
Retiring.
done as an MLB umpire. Yes, retiring, I would say there are reports out there that they've come to like a settlement, a financial settlement, because obviously that means he was not leaving on his own. He was ushered out. I just find it so fascinating that this guy has been maybe the most polarizing figure in all of baseball, and he's an umpire. And it was all that people can talk about, the memes that were happening about, hey, they called to let him know that he was out as an umpire and he missed the call. But like, it's just so ridiculous. But why he was so hated, he wasn't good. I get it. He wasn't good. But get this, even this season, he was like the 65th, I believe it was 65th out of like 87 umpires ranked. Guess what? There were 22 worse than him. That's not that good.
Yeah, no,
that
not
doesn't
good.
say good things for Major League Baseball.
Yeah. Angel, bye-bye. See ya. Okay. Rafael Nadal's historic dominant run at Roland Garros is done. Lost in the first round for the first time ever. He was 18-0 in the first round at the French. And look, he had to play a top 5 guy, so good luck. But this is at 37 years old, the end of the line here really for Rafa. He didn't say, no, I'm not going to ever play the French again, but he won't play most tournaments anymore in his career. He basically said, I'm going to focus on clay, which is where he's comfortable and has been absolutely dominant. 22 total Grand Slam titles, obviously the majority of them coming at the French.
Does this make you a little sad?
Yeah, a little bit.
It does to me too. Like, because it's almost like had he not, I don't like that it tarnishes anything, and it doesn't. The guy has been the only guy at Roland Garros for the last 20 years. But it makes me a little bit sad that he lost in the first round, because he could have just been like, you know what, I'm good. I'm not going to play anymore. Wouldn't have had to deal with it. But
I know, but
that kind of stinks.
I think it's okay to go out there one last time, and
You get the
you
wave
hope
from
that
the
the fans
fans,
appreciated, right, that
for
this
sure.
might be the last time we see him.
I know. I just wish he gave him a little bit to cheer about. Like, make a run to the quarters or something.
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough. We've been live from BEVS in Malta. Your Saratoga track pack is on sale now. It's that cooler. It's that 18-pack of beer, bag of ice, Saratoga chips, solo cups, and ping pong balls for whatever you would possibly do with that. It's a game I have never heard of.
Yeah.
But apparently it's a lot of fun. So enjoy it, everybody. We will see you next week from Saratoga Racecourse for the Belmont Racing Festival. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thanks for watching Onorato and Miller.